What's up, everybody? My name's Dan Ahn. Welcome to Ahnestly. Less than 2 years ago, Herman Miller released their brand new gaming chair, the Herman Miller Vantum. They put a huge amount of marketing into this chair. They sponsored a bunch of YouTubers, a bunch of influencers hyping up this chair. But me, wanting to keep things honest here on this channel, even though Herman Miller is one of my biggest sellers here, I still want to keep things honest. I heavily criticized the Vantum. I said for $1,000, man, the quality just does not hold up, especially when there's another $1,000 chair, which Herman Miller recolored for gaming purposes, called the Herman Miller Sail. The Herman Miller Sail felt much more premium, especially in the seat cushion, and I said for $1,000, the Vantum just is not worth it. I got a lot of flack for this. A lot of people came after me saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, I felt very justified because about 6 months later, Herman Miller dropped the price permanently on their Vantum to $800. So a permanent 20% decrease on the price. And then I feel even more justified today because Herman Miller actually paused the sale of the Vantum 1.0 and released the version 2.0, which is the one I have here. And guess what they fixed on the 2.0? Pretty much every criticism that I had about this chair, except for one. They also fixed a criticism that Linus from Linus Tech Tips had about this chair. Now, Herman Miller is not sponsoring this video. They don't even contact me anymore about new releases or anything like that. I bought this with my own money. I found out about the changes on my own while testing and experimenting with this chair. If you appreciate my approach to reviews where I keep it honest, make sure you like this video, get subscribed, and I'll tell you at the end whether I think this Vantum 2.0 is now worth it with all the changes and upgrades that Herman Miller has made to this. Let's get honest. Herman Miller made 3 major changes to their Vantum 2.0. The first one is the headrest. I heavily criticized this headrest for multiple reasons. I got a lot of flack because in that video, I actually tried to adjust the headrest while sitting in the chair and the headrest snapped off. And a lot of people said, look, you clearly were doing that for show. You're clearly pulling it outwards. And I was just like, guys, like what incentive do I have to tell you that a chair is bad? I'm an affiliate. So if I hype it up and if I say it's good, guess what? I'll make commission off of it. I'm just like, why would I lie? Anyways, so one of the major things that Herman Miller fixed about this chair is the headrest. The mechanism is now so much smoother, it's so much easier to move up and down, and this is both a pro and a con. So as you can see here, I can move it really easily with just one hand. There's no more clack, 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 and really difficult to push down. This thing will no longer slam into your neck bone if you're not careful. It goes up and down pretty smoothly, but it's a pro and a con because while you can easily adjust it while you're sitting in it and make some micro adjustments to get it exactly the way you like, the downside is that if you have it inside of your neck fold here and you're on the taller end, if you're like this and you push back with your head, this thing will tilt, like push down like that. So if you're somebody who likes to have it on your head, it might not be that big of a deal. I think personally this was designed to be more in your neck anyway, but again, if you're on the taller end and you lean back, you can see that I'm not even putting a ton of weight on it, and look, it's already down at its furthest point. So it is an upgrade, but it could be a downgrade compared to the other one because it does move up and down a lot easier than the older version. The next major difference is this knob here that controls the lumbar support. I criticized the knob saying that I thought it was broken because I could spin this thing infinitely and it felt like it was broken, but apparently that is how it was designed. It was designed for you to continue to spin it forever and it would just like reset every time you push it too far. This new one now locks after you push it all the way. It locks in place and you cannot spin it anymore. So it's a minor change, but they fixed it, I guess. I mean, it wasn't a huge deal breaker for me, but yeah, they fixed it to Herman Miller's credit. The third major difference between the 1.0 and the 2.0 is gonna be in the seat cushion. Now, with this seat cushion, they didn't address the complaint I had, which was that the Sails cushion is significantly better. The Sails cushion feels a lot more premium. It has a lot more squeeze to it, a memory foam-like give to it, but you couldn't feel the bottom. Linus Tech Tips, though, said that his complaint with the Vantum seat was that as soon as he sat in it, he said he could feel the bottom.
Like I can immediately feel the plastic or plywood or whatever it is under it.
And the Vantum 2.0 seat, it's not squishy and soft like the Sail seat is. Instead, it's much thicker, it's much denser, I think addressing Linus's criticism about the Vantum. So when you sit in this chair, you can immediately tell that it's a much more dense and actually a bit of a firmer cushion than the 1.0. And I am happy to report that when you sit in it, you definitely can't feel the bottom at all in this chair. The one downside though about having a thicker cushion like this is that if you're on the taller end, Herman Miller did not change the seat depth. The seat depth on this was pretty pitiful. It's like pretty short. So they didn't change or adjust that at all. But what that means, because the cushion is thicker now, it means that when the chair is extended all the way out, and if you're someone who sits all the way back in your chair, you can feel your butt hanging off of this chair a little bit more. You can feel like a divot on the back of your booty when sitting in this chair. You can feel that gap. And so that is one of the downsides of having a thicker cushion like this in a chair. So if you're someone who scooches a tiny bit up when sitting in your chair before leaning back, you're not gonna notice it. However, if you are someone who likes to have that cushion, that booty really tight against that backrest and seat, you're gonna feel your butt hanging off this, and it's not gonna be comfortable. With these 3 changes, would I recommend the Vantum 2.0? I would only recommend it to people who are up to 5'10", who are not aggressive headrest users. If you're above 5'10", I would say just hard pass, because as soon as you put your head on this thing or neck, this thing is gonna fall down. If you're under 5'10" and you're an aggressive headrest user, I'm not, I'm 5'6", but even when I use this and I put a slight amount of pressure on the headrest, this thing went down. So I think for you guys, it's gonna be a hard pass. For everyone else though, who fits into that category, I made a follow-up video when Herman Miller dropped their Vantum price by $200. I said, look, this chair in this price point is a unicorn, because there are a very rare amount of chairs that are about $800 that have solid design language. Like the Vantum looks beautiful. I mean, it looks great, you can't deny that. With a decent headrest, with a 12-year warranty for $800, that chair does not exist anywhere. And so for the Vantum to exist, I said, look, it sucks that it's kind of the only chair that exists in that price point, but it is. And so because of that, it could be worth it, again, if you're 5'10" or under and you're not an aggressive headrest user. I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments. Links to everything will be in the description. Please consider using them. It helps this channel a lot. Until next time, stay safe, and as always, stay honest.